The ancient Celts sacrificed human lives for various reasons. They performed these sacrifices to promote the fertility of the earth, or for divination activities, in which they tried to understand future events by observing the insides of the offerings. Sometimes, even a high-ranking person, such as a prince, was offered as a sacrifice to calm disaster, such as epidemics. There are reports of sacrifices made before the construction of a palace. This was to ensure that protection of the new construction by the spirits of the earth. They drank the blood of their enemies because they believed that this would make them stronger. The victims were not only criminals or prisoners of war, but also people who at the time were considered high-ranking in society. The methods were particularly cruel, and some had their nipples cut off. The ancient Celts did not even spare the kings. In fact, if a king governed badly or was unable to ensure prosperity, and during his reign there were famines or wars, the Celts sacrificed him and cut off his nipples. This gesture was symbolic because it was a way of saying that the king was no longer worthy of the throne. If someone was in danger or had to face a risky situation, then he would sacrifice another human life to save his own. This happened because for the Celts, the gods demanded a life to save another. If a man had to go into battle and wanted to prevent his death, he offered another life as a sacrifice. The priests did these rituals. A life for a life. If you have watched the TV series Merlin, this concept will be familiar to you. In fact, I believe that the ancient religion that is talked about in the series refers to the ancient religion of the Celts. Sacrifices were held during festivals such as Samhain, from which Halloween originated, and blood was poured onto the earth to always promote fertility. As for the buildings, the chosen sacrifices were men or sons who did not have a father. There is also a legend that speaks of the magician Merlin, who was chosen as a sacrifice for the construction of a tower, because, according to the legend, Merlin was born from a woman and a kind of spirit as a father. Then Merlin is saved from the sacrifice, but is trapped in a cave and killed by Nimue, the Lady of the Lake. Sacrifices were not only offerings to the gods, but also to the earth, to the rivers, to water in general, because the Celts venerated not only the gods but nature itself, the trees. They had the idea that the gods could be cruel if these rituals, which were designed to appease them, were neglected. But rivers and nature could also be cruel and cause victims, and for this reason they too had to be appeased. The Celts saw the gods and nature in this way, as if they had this characteristic typical of humans. Like humans, they wanted to feel important, to be recognized, and they hated irreverence, insults, and indifference, and for this reason their rights could not be neglected.